2,000 more feet to drill to intersect the blowout wellbore.
Cleaning up after yet another flood, all the while fearing that another storm could hit tonight.
No matter what your purpose is, you must leave.
Thousands of families are preparing for another night in the dark.
It's going. The whole thing's going.
Violence erupted, and there wasn't enough security to stop it.
This is the fire in full force, believed to be the result of a lightning strike.
Volcanic ash from Iceland that's blowing across northern Europe is severely disrupting air traffic.
There was no power, air conditioning, water. Thousands were stranded in wretched conditions.
What you got here is thousands and thousands of people who have desperate needs 6 days later.
Middle-class Americans living paycheck to paycheck lose their job, then their house, and have nowhere to go.
Because the bankers have decided to bring us into depression. They've decided to set up a police state. They've decided to try to forcibly inoculate people. They've decided to corner people and force the population to fight back. And more of that is going to happen.
We first arrived on the scene and we heard pop, 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 and there were gunshots fired before we even got down off the off-ramp. Yeah, I knew my life was in danger.
And what's happening economically for the middle class? You have people going into foreclosure, people are losing their jobs.
The hellish conditions inside the Louisiana Superdome were so bad, even those who were there have trouble describing it.
I'm staying with families. I'm trying to find me somewhere to go. I'm just staying with family and friends, and we can't stay here.
Homeless population. The images hauntingly reminiscent of the iconic photos of the 1930s and the Great Depression.
Okay, so we have skipped a deep recession and skipped depression, even the Great Depression. We went right to the collapse of the dollar. Then he went right to global currency, one world government, and a new world order like that.
The incredible costs that fuel prices, everything from fertilizer to transportation costs, is bringing on our ability to distribute or to get food.
We've been talking about food prices. If it seems like food staples are more expensive every time you go to the grocery store, it's because they are.
Feeling the effects of a global food shortage, which has driven the price of basic crops like corn, rice, and wheat to an all-time high.
You may not realize how much you spend at the grocery store until you're in dire straits. 31 million Americans need food stamps to make ends meet.
About some stores in the United States that are reportedly limiting the amount of certain foods that customers can buy. Not talking hard to get gourmet stuff here, but staples like rice and wheat and cooking oil.
Last year, here in Allegheny County alone, the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank served 14,490 new households. So far this year, close to 10,000 new families in need have already been served, making it likely that the demand may far exceed the supplies on hand.
In light of the increase of both natural and man-made disasters, a new and immediate need for survival training and disaster preparedness has bolted into the national spotlight. All over the world we hear daily of new and more devastating calamities befalling our neighbors, and maybe even our very own families. If it has not touched you yet, be assured that it will. Our mission is to provide low and mid-leveled income members of our community the mental, emotional, physical, and financial resources to care for themselves and survive any disaster.